Oh boy, does history repeat itself. Now, about a month ago, I made a video called Why Are Gamers So Toxic? And pretty much in that video, I explained how people are just too quick to jump on the bandwagon of hate. And unfortunately, those same people never left, they're back again. So let's just start from the top. So pretty much when any developers or company drops a game, especially if they're an indie company, they never expect the game to do insanely well. And we all saw the release of Helldivers 2. It went crazy. I remember when it came out, they didn't even have enough servers for everyone to play because they just did not expect this many people trying to play the game. Long story short, people were loving the game, people fell in love with the game. It was going crazy everywhere. Now, I feel like this is pretty much common sense, but it's been about 5-6 months since the game's release, and just like any other game, there is gonna be that rise at the top and then the slow decline until it reaches a steady level. And at the time I'm recording this video in July of 2024, the average player count a day is about 40 to 50,000, which in my opinion for an indie studio who didn't expect any of the success, anything that they've gotten thus far, I think that 40 to 50,000 people on average a day still is not bad. It's not like, I don't think it deserves the hate that it's getting. As of May 2024, the first Helldivers game has sold about 4 million copies. And I'd say a good chunk of those sales is generated from Helldivers 2 and because it was just received so well. And I believe Helldivers 2, the game, has sold about 12 million copies altogether. And I'm thinking, okay, Helldivers 1 released in 2015. I'm sure if I use the Wayback Machine or whatever, I could figure out the player count or like maybe a few months after the first game came out and compare them, but I'm just not gonna go that deep into it. But you can see that the devs were clearly not prepared or even expecting the success of this game to go the way it did. And honestly, it goes back to what I said in the first video I made about this. I genuinely believe people will just prey on anything and anyone's downfall that they can, even when it's on a situation like this, when Helldivers 2 still has about 50,000 people a day playing the game active, and people will still somehow find a way to say it's dying. When the whole Sony thing was going on, I remember going on the internet and so many people were just talking about how they didn't like the game anymore, they were waiting for it to die, it's been dead for them, it hasn't been fun for them. But the hate the game itself was getting then and now is definitely overblown. Now, like any new released game, there's gonna be patches, there's gonna be updates, things are gonna change, and that's just how it goes, right? But I'm always seeing people talking about how they can't play the game anymore because their favorite weapon was nerfed or something like that. And I guess that kind of applies to all games with that toxic part of the community, but I think it's grown to this insane level now. And I think if you let something like that ruin your entire experience with a game, then you gotta take a step back. And of course the devs want us to give our feedback, they want to know what we think about the game that they made. But when it grows to the point that it has, that's where you draw the line between constructive criticism and just simply hating on something. I think any average Joe who just wants to hop on the game for a little bit and disconnect from reality doesn't really give a shit or not if the spear or the quasar cannon does a little bit less damage. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I honestly just think there will always be those people who will never be satisfied no matter what, and there's not really a lot you can do about that. So at the end of the day, just don't let a video game ruin your day. And if you find yourself to be one of these people, don't get offended about what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you don't like a game, well, lucky enough for you, there's hundreds of thousands of video games you could play, so just go find a new one. But anyways, that is pretty much the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, consider liking the video and subscribing. Check out some of my music. I'll put the links down below. Check out my YouTube shorts and all that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.